Hello students, welcome back to your computer class. In today's class, I'm going to explain the processing unit of your computer. Come on, let me start. CPU is called as the processing unit of your computer. Now what actually CPU stands for? C, it means central, and P means processing. U, it is a unit. So CPU stands for central processing unit. Again, CPU, it is also known as the brain of our computer because our CPU, it is responsible for executing the instructions specified by the user and processing the given data. How? For example, if you give the data 2 and 3 with the instruction plus, then CPU, it processes it processes the given data and the instruction inside it and gives the output. So once it gives the output, that output is known as processing. So once it adds 2 plus 3, it adds it after processing, we get the result 5. This is the meaningful information, right? So this meaningful information, it is known as processing. The result after processing is displayed on the output device such as monitor. Now once it processes, after processing the result, for example 2 plus 3 5, it displays, right, the output. So this output, it displayed on your monitor. CPU is always kept inside a box called the CPU box or CPU cabinet. So students, the CPU, the container which we use to keep the CPU, it is known as the CPU cabinet or CPU box. CPU, it is made up of three main parts. Again, our CPU, it is made up of three main parts. What is the first part here? We'll see. The first part is ALU, arithmetic and logic unit. The second part is control unit. Third part is memory unit. Now one by one we will study in depth. What are these parts? Okay, the first part, arithmetic and logic unit. Here it is the diagram. Our CPU, it has three parts. Our CPU, it has three parts. These are the three parts, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Now one by one we will discuss. The first part, arithmetic and logic unit. This part we will study. Inside our CPU we have these three parts. So first part will study arithmetic and logic unit. Arithmetic and logic unit, or it is also known as ALU. It is responsible for the following calculations. So the ALU, arithmetic and logic unit, it is responsible for the calculations such as you can calculate addition, subtraction, multiplication and divisions. Okay, so for these calculation, this part, that is the arithmetic and logic unit, it is used. Again one more, logical calculations such as finding the greater number and smaller number. See, not only the calculation of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, with these calculations, again it is also used for finding the greater number and smaller number. For example, if we have two number 9 and 1, okay, which is greater? Okay, so to make such a decision, so 9 is greater, right? So to make such a decision, again we use this arithmetic and logic unit. So such a decision making, it is known as logical calculations. Okay, in the same way, for making the decision or for finding the smaller number, if one is smaller than 9, right? So for making such logical decisions we use arithmetic and logic unit. Now this part over. Next, control unit. This is the control unit. Okay, I am going to explain now. Control unit, also known as, in short, it is CU. Okay, the full form of CU is control unit. Control unit, it works like a manager. See students, control unit, it works like a manager of your computer. How? See, it checks whether all the computer operations are taking place correctly. See, it manages your computer whether all the operations, all the parts of your computer working properly or not. Okay, it controls the working of a computer and all the parts of your computer. So control unit, again, it communicate with both the arithmetic logical unit, that is ALU, and memory unit. One more unit, that is memory. Your control unit, it controls all the parts of your computer whether all the parts are working properly or not. Again, it communicates with remaining two parts, arithmetic and logic unit and memory unit. It uses electrical signals to direct the various parts of a computer system to carry out or execute the stored program instructions. So control unit, it uses some signals. Those signals are of electrical signals to communicate with memory unit and control unit. So all the process can be done properly. That is how it used to communicate with electrical signals. Okay, this is how our control unit, it works inside the CPU. The next one, memory unit. The third part is memory unit. This is the third part of your CPU, memory unit. The memory unit, it stores all the data and instructions that need to be processed by the CPU. See students, your memory unit, it is responsible for storing the data. Okay, for storing the data and instruction we need memory unit. So once our CPU, it processes our data, and after processing it gives the output, right? It processes the data and instruction, accordingly it gives the output. So processed result we need to store, right? So for storing purpose, the result we need to store. So to store that we use memory unit. This memory is called the internal memory or primary memory. Okay, so this memory, the memory unit, it is known as internal memory or primary memory. So after performing the calculation or processing of the instruction and data, we need to store the result. So to store the result we use memory unit. Storage devices, this is the next topic students. Come on, let me see what actually the storage device is. Sometimes we may need to store the results of processing for future use. For example, if you give data and instruction 2 plus 3 to your computer, it gives the result 5, right? Now one more time, if you want to see this result, then you need to save that result. If you give today this data and instruction to your computer, you will get this result, but tomorrow also if you want to see this result, otherwise if you want to see the picture which you drawn in your computer, you need to save it, right? So that you can view it later. So for that purpose we use storage devices. For storing data we use storage devices, and these are also known as storage media. You can view your drawing later, but before you need to save that drawing. If you save your drawing, you can view that later. So To store your drawing, to save, we need storage devices. In that, we have so many types of storage devices. We will see one by one. The first one is hard disk. Hard disk is the main storage device of a computer. So hard disk, it is the main storage device of your computer, and this hard disk, it is located inside the CPU box. Okay, where it located? It present inside the CPU box. This hard disk, it can store large amount of data. Okay, it stores large amount of data. All the work done on a computer can be stored on its hard disk. The work, whatever you are going to do, it's stored inside your hard disk. The next storage device is CD and DVD. CD, it stands for compact disc. C means compact, D means disc. Whereas DVD, it stands for, D means digital, V means versatile, again D means disc. So CD, it stands for compact disc. DVD, it stands for digital versatile disc, and these are the storage device. CD and DVD, both are the storage devices. They are circular in shape and can store lot of data. How CD and DVD look like? See, circular. Their shape, it is circular. CD or DVD, their shape, it is in circular shape. And they store, both the devices stores lot of data. They can be easily carried from one place to another. Okay, you can save your drawing in CD or DVD, and you can carry from one place to another. If you save in hard disk, you can't carry it from one place to another, but if you save in CD or DVD, you can carry from one place to another. DVD, it stores more data than CD. See students, DVD, it stores more data than this CD. Most of the programs and games that we use on our computer are also available on CD or DVD. See, your games, most of the games and programs which are available on CD or DVD only, you can store in CD or DVD only. So that if you want to copy your game from one computer to another computer, you can use CD or DVD. Okay, the shape of CD or DVD is circular in manner, in the shape. Next we have pen drive. The last storage device, it is pen drive. Pen drive is a storage device which is small in size. Okay, very small it is. I already shown you the pen drive in the last year, right? It is small. Okay, small device, it is a small in size. It is also used to store the data. It can be easily carried in a pocket or a bag. You can carry this pen drive in your pocket or bag because it is very small in size, right? It can be used to store data and transfer from one computer to another. In the same way like CD or DVD, in pen drive also we can store and transfer our data from one computer to another computer. For example, if you have your game in this computer A, then you can copy this game into this computer, the Beat computer, with the help of pen drive. So this is all about the class, students. Take care.